President, I move that the Environment, Resources and Development Committee inquire into and report on the diversion of heavy vehicles along River Road and Strathalbyn Road, with particular reference to the consultation and decision-making processes that led to the decision to divert traffic along River Road and Strathalbyn Road, the impacts of the diversion on local amenity, community safety and the environment. 3, the impacts of the diversion on traffic in Harndorf, Mount Barker and other Adelaide Hills communities. 4, alternative solutions of freight transport through the Adelaide Hills and any other related matters.
Is there a seconder for the motion? It's been seconded. Honourable Mr Sims.
Thank you, and thank you, Honourable Michelle Lensink. Back in 2021, Harndorf strategic planning study commissioned by the state and federal governments found that the lack of connectivity to and from the southeastern freeway is causing additional traffic and freight in the township, primarily due to there being no convenient alternative route between Mount Barker in the east and Balhallen and Woodside in the north, without travelling through the main street of Harndorf, and there being no convenient alternative route between the south, the west or the east, without travelling through the main street of Harndorf. The study also found that the current traffic on the Harndorf main street, Mount Barker Road, was limiting the economy, function and amenity of the area. There were over 10,000 vehicles, including hundreds of heavy vehicles per day on the main street, along with a significant number of pedestrians. In response to a series of options released for public consultation by the Department of Transport to resolve the issue, the Harndorf community canvassed their own option to reduce the impact, which involved much less property acquisition and footprint. The option put involved creating a bypass between Echunga Road and the southeastern freeway with a half interchange, not the full interchange, with a road running through the Berenberg farm put forward by the previous Marshall government. However, in 2023, the Malinauskas government decided to completely scrap the bypass project, instead opting to divert all heavy traffic along Strathalbyn and River roads. This move has prompted immediate protest from local residents and truck drivers concerned about the implications for safety, amenity and their local environment caused by moving heavy freight vehicles along roads that are just not fit for this purpose. One resident of River Road, Emma Smith, told the Advertiser that her children's bedroom was just metres from the edge of the road and her biggest fear was a logging truck going through their room. "We have great concerns about our safety," she said. "I can tell with a fair amount of certainty that there will be a fatality on this road." Truck driver Ben Simmons from Simmons Transport also told the Advertiser it would be only a matter of time before a serious accident or fatality happened if heavy vehicles used River Road regularly. A petition was organised by concerned locals requesting that the Malinauskas Labor government take immediate action to reverse its decision to divert heavy trucks onto River Road and Strathalbyn Road to and from Main Road, Harndorf. It also urged the funding be committed for a new Harndorf bypass or other solutions. This petition, Mr Acting President, has received a huge wave of support, over 10,000 physical signatures. And I want to acknowledge the work of Councillor Anne Fornham, Jenny Lamb and others who have taken the lead in organising the petition for their steadfast advocacy over the last 2 years on this important issue for people who are living in the Adelaide Hills. And indeed, I have met on multiple occasions with Councillor Fornham to discuss this issue, and I know that the Greens candidate for Hyson has also been interested and concerned about this issue. The petition organisers have described some of the reasons that people gave when they signed the petition. These include safety issues. Residents reported near misses, particularly trying to get out of their driveways or being literally run off the road by trucks. The loss of amenity of the roads for other uses, such as drivers, cyclists, walkers and horse riders. Some reported that these road users have largely abandoned River Road and Strathalbyn Road, and these were previously quite popular tourist routes. The practical unsuitability of the road for trucks and the high cost of retrofitting the roads. The negative impact on local wildlife, particularly adjacent to the Onkaparinga River Wildlife Corridor, with potential disturbance or destruction of habitat for many species of birds, reptiles, bats, marsupials and other animals. The detrimental impacts to residents because of increased noise, vibration, lighting, also safety issues, harmful fumes and an overall reduced amenity. The need to have an alternate route out of Mount Barker to the west in the case of emergencies such as a bushfire. The inefficiency of the diversion, the increased length of road compared to gaining direct freeway access off Echunga Road increases the transit time for drivers. The need to fix Harndorf's traffic issues. Indeed, Mr Acting President, a bypass around Harndorf does not help fix Main Street congestion And this was recognised back when the River Road diversion was first proposed, I think. It's not going to achieve that aim. A particular concern was traffic travelling north to south, including increased traffic stemming from a growing population in Mount Barker. We know, Mr Acting President, the Mount Barker area has been dogged by poor planning decisions, from poor public transport infrastructure to road congestion. Indeed, this has been a Labor planning disaster. The Labor government, under the leadership of Premier Rann and Premier Weatherill, continued with this terrible planning regime, which has created a ticking time bomb for the people of Mount Barker. And we're seeing the chickens come home to roost today with that poor planning process. Successive governments have failed to provide the Adelaide Hills with the investment in transport infrastructure, including public transport, that is desperately needed. And indeed, I have written to the former Transport Minister, the Honourable Tom Koutsantonis, about this matter in the past, and in particular the need to increase public transport to the Adelaide Hills and Harndorf in particular. Finally, Mr President, concern has been raised about the way this issue is handled, with little notice given or opportunities to comment. It's believed that there has not been a fair go given to those directly impacted. It's a classic case of announce and defend, rather than genuine public consultation. And it is particularly disappointing to see this lack of consultation from the Malinauskas government, because residents have been willing to work with the government to develop solutions. And indeed, last year, concerned residents developed a proposal for a Harndorf Link Road to allow traffic to bypass town. They engaged a retired traffic engineer and even released a new map of the proposed route, which could include walking, bike riding trails, horse track, a lookout, an Indigenous interpretive trail, vegetation corridor and links from the main street to Harndorf. There are lots and lots of options that could be explored. Now, Mr President, I recognise some things have changed since the community first put this issue forward. The Minister has changed, and I know the Honourable Member will certainly, the new Minister will certainly adopt a more sympathetic ear, I think, to community voices than her predecessor. I mean no disrespect to the Honourable Tom Koutsantonis, but he's not always known for his consultative style. But I do know that the Honourable Emily Burke is somebody who is more open to listening to the community, and I hope that she will adopt that approach with respect to this proposal. That she will actually say, let's listen to the community. I asked her about this in question time today, and the Honourable Minister did indicate that she would be open to meeting with all community groups, and so I'll certainly make sure my office connects her office with some of the community representatives that have reached out to me in the hope that this matter can be dealt with. Mr President, the motion seeks to refer this issue to the issue of the diversion of heavy vehicles along River Road and Strathalbyn Road to the Environment, Resources and Development Committee so that it can receive the scrutiny that it deserves. It requests that the committee considers the consultation and decision-making processes that led to the decision to divert traffic along River Road and Strathalbyn Road, the impacts of the diversion on local amenity, community safety and the environment. Excuse me, Mr President, I apologise for that. The impact of the diversion on traffic in Harndorf, Mount Barker and other Adelaide Hills communities, alternative solutions for freight transport through the Adelaide Hills. Well, I hope, Mr President, that this inquiry will shine a light on the inadequate lack of transport infrastructure in the Adelaide Hills, particularly Mount Barker and Harndorf. The people of the Adelaide Hills certainly deserve better. I commend the motion, Mr President.